I want you to picture something. You are 71 years old. You worked for 45 years. You paid into Social Security every single paycheck, every single one, for your entire adult life. And now, every month, that check is the reason your lights stay on. It is not a bonus. It is not extra money. It is the only money. Now imagine one morning you try to call Social Security to update your address because your payment stopped. You call the number, you wait, and you wait, and you wait. 4 hours on hold. Shoot, you are 71 years old, holding the phone for 4 hours, and then the line disconnects. And when you try to drive to the local Social Security office for help, it is closed. Permanently. This is not a story about the future. This is happening to Americans right now. DOGE, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, has cut 7,000 Social Security workers in the last 60 days. 7,000. The largest single staffing cut in the agency's 90-year history. And today I am going to tell you exactly what that means for your payment, your retirement, and the $1.5 trillion system that 70 million Americans depend on every single month. What DOGE actually did to Social Security. Let's start with the numbers because the numbers are the story. The Social Security Administration has 57,000 workers. DOGE ordered a 12% reduction. That means 7,000 jobs gone. And according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, this is the single largest staffing cut in SSA'S 90-year history. Not the largest in a decade, the largest ever in a single year. Now do the math on what that means practically. Right now, one Social Security employee is responsible for serving 1,480 beneficiaries. In 1967, when the program was younger, benefits were simpler, and the population was smaller. One employee served fewer than 500 people. So the beneficiary count has exploded. The staff has shrunk. And DOGE just made it dramatically worse. 6 regional offices have been closed. 47 field offices are being reviewed for closure across the country, many of them in rural areas where seniors and disabled Americans have no other way to get help. Phone wait times have doubled. In at least one case, a single regional office was forced to handle calls for 2/3 of the entire state of Indiana because the other offices were cut. And while they were buried in phone calls, they stopped processing retirement claims entirely, not slowed them down, stopped. The acting SSA commissioner at the time, Leland Dudek, privately admitted in a staff meeting that DOGE officials are, and I'm quoting from detailed notes taken at that meeting, outsiders who are unfamiliar with the nuances of SSA programs. He said, DOGE people are learning and they will make mistakes. But we have to let them see what is going on. He said this about a team making decisions that affect the retirement checks of 70 million Americans. Learning, making mistakes. Meet Dorothy. She is why this matters. I want to introduce you to a woman I will call Dorothy. She is 74 years old. She lives in rural Nevada. Her nearest Social Security office is 90 miles away. She does not drive anymore. Her Social Security check is $1,340 a month, her only income. In March 2026, the SSA changed the rules. If you cannot verify your identity online, you must go in person. Dorothy cannot use the SSA website. Her eyesight is failing. She needs to speak to someone. So she calls the number. She waits 2 hours. The line disconnects. She tries again the next day, another 2 hours. She finally gets through. The representative tells her the nearest office that can help her now requires an appointment. And the next available appointment is 6 weeks away. For 6 weeks, Dorothy's identity verification is on hold. And without verification, her payment can be delayed. Dorothy is not a made-up worst case. Holly Lawrence, a real beneficiary quoted in the Wall Street Journal, described almost exactly this situation. She said, "I'm financially strapped and cannot afford a financial advisor. It was important to me to be able to talk to someone at Social Security." She added that she worries the delays she experienced could destroy people who don't have the strength to be persistent. And this is before the real damage hits. Because here is what nobody is explaining clearly. Social Security's computer systems run on a 65-year-old programming language called COBOL. COBOL is no longer taught in universities. The only people who know how to operate, maintain, How and fix these systems are long-tenured SSA employees, many of whom are now at retirement age themselves. DOGE cut them. The experienced IT staff who understand every workaround keeping 90-year-old computer systems alive, gone. Former Commissioner Martin O'Malley told CNBC directly, "The cuts have already caused IT outages, and he predicted they will become more frequent and last longer each time, until there is a total system failure." What the government says, and what experts actually say now, I'm going to give you both sides, because you deserve to hear the government's argument honestly. The Trump administration and SSA Commissioner Frank Bisignano say this: Social Security has been bloated for years. The cuts target management layers and non-mission critical staff, not frontline workers. Technology will replace outdated manual processes. By September 2026, Bisignano says he plans to cut average phone wait times from 19 minutes down to 12 minutes. And he says DOGE is a resource, not a threat. He says fraud is rampant. Dead people collecting checks, undocumented immigrants in the system, and cleaning that up will save money that protects real beneficiaries. And President Trump has repeatedly promised Social Security benefits will not be cut. That promise deserves a serious response. So here it is from people who have actually run this agency. Martin O'Malley, who led SSA under Biden, said directly, "Everything they're doing is driving this agency to system collapse." Jason Fichtner, who served as SSA's deputy commissioner and chief economist, described DOGE's approach as, and this was his exact phrase, "a drunk operating a wrecking ball." Christine Lizotte, a claims specialist and union official, warned at a press conference that the cutbacks will likely delay payments, cause more errors, and could even crash the whole system within months. And on the fraud claims, independent fact-checkers have confirmed that DOGE's original claim of millions of dead people collecting Social Security was based on inexperienced programmers misreading old data codes. SSA's own credible estimates put improper payments at under 1% of total benefit spending. Not the massive fraud wave that justified the cuts. The justification was wrong. The cuts happened anyway. Here is the thing that should concern every single person watching this video regardless of politics. The Congressional Budget Office confirmed that SSA will run short of funds to pay full benefits by 2035, roughly 9 years from now, if nothing changes. That is a serious structural problem. But cutting experienced staff, closing field offices, and disrupting the 65-year-old computer systems does not fix the 2035 problem. It creates a 2026 problem on top of it. You cannot fix a leaking roof by setting fire to the house. 3 things this means for you right now. So what does this practically mean for you? Today, in 2026? 3 things. First, if you are filing for Social Security for the first time this year, retirement or disability, expect delays. Disability claims already average 231 days before the cuts. That is more than 7.5 months. With fewer staff and more chaos, that number is going up. Over 1 million people are currently waiting on disability appeals. Tens of thousands die every year while waiting. That number will rise. Second, if you need to verify your identity, update your information, or resolve any issue with your account, do not wait. Act now. The backlog is growing every week. If you have a family member who is elderly or disabled and relies on Social Security, check their situation today, not next month. Today. On third, and this is the honest, uncomfortable part, there is no political party coming to fix this quickly. Congress has been informed of the crisis. The 2026 funding bill from House Republicans essentially matches what Trump requested, which locks in the cuts. Senate Democrats raise the alarm but do not have the votes to reverse it. SSA's regional office staff have been largely eliminated. The infrastructure damage, according to former commissioners from both parties, will take years to repair even if the decision is reversed tomorrow. Dorothy in Nevada is waiting for an appointment 6 weeks away. The experienced COBOL programmer who kept her payment system running just took an early retirement buyout. And the person replacing him is learning on the job, with 70 million Americans as his classroom. You paid into this system your entire working life. This is not charity. This is not a government handout. This is a contract. You held up your end of the deal for 40, 45, sometimes 50 years. The question that nobody in Washington wants to answer directly is whether the system will hold up its end. Not in 2035, but this year. Drop your honest reaction in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you know someone who depends on Social Security, share this with them. Because the people most affected by this are the least likely to hear about it. Subscribe for next week. We are going into the $9 trillion debt wall and exactly how it collides with Social Security's 2035 shortfall at the same time. That combination is something no einen